From the Empire State to the Golden Gates, this is Quad Radio USA.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
Now, with all the dirt from the world of ATV motocross and GNCC racing, here's Mr. 10 Seconds, Rodney Tomlin.
Welcome back to the Mammoth GNCC here on Quad Radios. We are joined by 9-time GNCC champion, Mr. Bill Ballance, and here we are, not literally, but figuratively, I guess you could say, in your backyard, as we were talking with Taylor Kaiser about that a few moments ago. Must be nice to be this close to home.
Yeah, it was a long drive. It was all of not hardly 7 miles, so the drive up was really nice, and first time we've ever been able to do that in the history of my racing career. So it's going to be enjoyable. It's a new event, new virgin track, something that's going to be really different for a lot of guys running GNCCs, because a lot of the tracks we go to has been raced on for several years, and they get kind of hard packed and get their own race line all the way around the track. And this is going to be a lot different. It's probably going to be a lot of lines out there to race with, and things are going to open up and present themselves as the race goes on, at least for the first year or two here. And it's going to be pretty special. I kind of, I've regretted not being able to get out there and race tomorrow and check it out, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking for Taylor and Walker to really get out there and do good this weekend, and they had a good start and was, really kicking butt the last race, and I think that they'll pick up from where they were and do that here.
And I don't doubt that a bit. That's one thing that we were talking with Taylor about. I mean, he's got the confidence roll going right now, and that's one good thing positive about your camp, man. I mean, you've been able, not saying that Taylor's ever been down, but in his down times when he was finishing fourth, you were able to keep him up, keep his spirits up, keep him directed, and you've been it looks like a good leader and a good mentor for Walker as well.
Yeah, both the boys, it's easy for me to work with Walker and Taylor both, and the reason I say that is because of the heart that they've got. They want this. They want to get out and be successful. They want to win. They're not happy with anything other than winning. To them, even Walker's first year and being a rookie in the pro class, he comes off the race, and he might smile if he gets up on the podium, gets second or third, but on the way home, he's wishing he'd had that win, and he's ready to go back and do what it takes to come back to the next race and win, do his best to try to win. So,
is that typical for a rookie to feel like that? I know a lot of these guys like to come into these years thinking that they're going to set the world on fire, but typically, you've seen it in the past yourself, and I'm sure, but is it typical that someone is like that is capable of winning like Walker is?
In years past, it hasn't been. For guys first year in the pro class, if you look back, Taylor, when he'd come in from a row back and started pro, Brandon Summers, Adam McGill, the list can go on and on and on. It's taken a couple years for somebody to really get in there and get adjusted and get up to speed and see what it's about to get out there and be competitive in the pro class. With Walker, he's a little different. He's if you look at the history of all the guys that's been racing, he probably started racing at a younger age, and his parents took him to so many events as he was coming up through the ranks, and him making the transition, we haven't got to really show it yet with Taylor or Walker. Taylor's got one win already, but we've kind of been stricken with some bad luck that's kind of knocked us down a little bit. But in saying that, Walker's got what it takes to get out there and win, and both the guys are really strong when they're riding together at home. They're right there just pushing each other's guts out. It's hard for either one of them to get an edge on the other one, and I think that helps a whole lot when we come to the races. All we can do now is just keep our fingers crossed and pray that all of our bad luck's behind us, and these guys can really get out there and start showing what they've got and what our package is truly about. And maybe some of the other guys can have some bad luck. This is cross-country racing, and these bikes get put through some torture and all kinds of things. So it's bound to happen to everybody, no matter how good you prepare and how good you prep your machines and all that stuff, how smart a rider you are. It's bound to happen in a 13 series race of cross-country racing. You're bound to have something happen. So we just now need to have some good luck on our side for the rest of the season, and maybe a little bad luck for some of the other people, and we'll be right back in the hunt again.
There you go. And let's talk a little bit more about this weekend. And not only this weekend, but this weekend, the next race, and the race following. We've got 3 new venues that we're going to be going to. This one, all virgin terrain, basically. They're pioneering the trail as we speak right now, laying it out for this weekend's race. So, I mean, this one's probably going to be a little more different than the ones coming up. But what's the keys to success in a race like this weekend?
That's something we've worked a whole lot about. I mean, the guys have always trained real hard. They've always, every time they get on the starting line, they give it all their effort. But, you know, when it comes down to it, if you're racing for a championship, you got to beat Chris Borich. And I raced with him for a lot of years, and I picked up a lot of things that helped me from Barry Hawk and racing with him, and I think he picked up some things from me. But Chris has got a certain way, you know, he tries to win and read off some people through the race and then try to capitalize at the end, and we've talked a lot about that. And Taylor getting out there and winning in North Carolina, I think showed himself that he can get out there and take it to Chris and beat him. So he entered the last race, and it showed with the way he took off. He was ready to take it to him once again, and just as luck would have it, we didn't, you know, the bike didn't hold up. We had some problems there, but Taylor's really fired up. His outlook on things and the way he's wanting to get out there, and just he wants to win real bad. He knows he can do it now, and this race is going to be a little bit different. Like you said, it's a virgin track. It's going to have probably a lot of lines form and come up through from lap to lap to lap, because it is virgin. It's the first time a trail's been cut on this place, so the guys are going to have to keep their eyes open, keep themselves in position to be there to win when it comes down to the last lap. And then when it gets to that last lap, you know, have a couple things in their back pocket to pull out and make the moves that they need to beat these guys to the finish line.
There's not going to be an all-out sprint to the finish. You don't want to go out there and just try to just hammer it down just as hard as you can go. It's a thinking race more so probably this race, until the last lap anyway.
Yeah, there's just a couple races we go to actually that, I mean, it's the pro class. It's the best guys in the nation that's out here doing the GNCC series, and it is a sprint. Every race you go to, it's a sprint, but at the same time, you have got to think a little bit outside the box when you're riding. You're just not out there racing with the guys. You're looking for lines, things you can use for the next lap, things that you can use for the last lap, how to protect your lines coming into the finish line with some of the chicanes. We almost see it every race we go to, and you got to have a race strategy. Without that race strategy and planning and seeing yourself winning and how you're going to do it, you're not ever going to do it. So that's stuff we've talked about on a lot of our long road trips and through the winter, and we're training, and I get out there and ride with the guys, and we'll go through scenarios that, you know, I'm so-and-so, and we're going to go through these chicanes, and you're going to have to keep me held off and not let me pass you or square you up or something like that. And we've practiced that, because when it comes to winning a championship, you have got to have the whole ball game. You have to be able to, take advantage of everything that the track gives you and the competition gives you, and know what to do and put yourself in the right positions and make it happen.
It's amazing. I mean, whenever you first started racing, how tight the finishes are. I mean, we're talking mere seconds apart. Is this something that even back whenever you guys used to have the battles you did, the end of the race didn't seem to reflect as tight as what these races have been, at least in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and it's different for quads. I don't know the whole reason behind it. What I do know is that as long as I've been involved in GNCC racing, when it comes to the quad side of the sport, you've always had 5 or 6 guys that had hearts so big that nothing was acceptable to them but winning. And this sport has carried that out through the years. You've not really, I've had my seasons where I won a lot of races. Chris has had his seasons where he's won a lot of races, but every race you go to, you was always racing it out with somebody all the way to the finish line. You didn't have those breakaways, and you look at even the bike side of GNCC's, motocross, you look at all these other sports and the way they do racing, it seems like you have somebody that's real dominant and just checks out and spanks everybody. And I don't know if that's because some guys, they're going to shine one year and decide to take it easy until contracts are up and ready to be renewed for the next year or what. But for the quad guys, to make a living at this, you've got to be successful. And not only that, the heart of the guys to get out there and race. Everybody takes it to everybody and lays it all on the line every single time they show up, whether they're feeling good or feeling bad. And that's part of it. That's one thing that's made this sport, what it is the determination of the riders to get out there and be competitive.
I think you're right. There's something to be said about ATV racing, no doubt about it, Bill, and you're a big part of it. And I tell you, thanks for the history that you've added to it. And I'm sure you've got a lot more history that you're laying out with us with Balance Racing, and maybe even a few more races under up your own sleeve in the future. Who knows? But whatever it holds, man, I mean, you're definitely playing a big part of it, and definitely want to say thanks to you for that.
Yeah, I want to thank the Lord for the opportunity to be out here doing what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this and being in the manager role. It's good to see the work paying off, and I think from here on out we're going to have some good luck on our side, and Yamaha bikes are going to be getting a lot of first place finishes, so we'll see what happens.
There you go. That's Bill Ballance. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio.